Welcome to Mic'd Up Toronto. My name is Lewis. Joining me today is Hipster Mitch.
Hey.
And Immigrant Vince.
Hello, Toronto.
Guys, how are we doing? Have we adjusted to daylight savings time?
I hate daylight savings. It's the worst.
It is the worst.
It's unnecessary. And all it does is change your body doesn't know it's changing, but we change the clocks.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's why there's always a spike in heart attacks during time changes. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Because it adjusts people's sleep cycles, and it just, especially for older people, it just throws everything off. Right?
By 1 hour throws, people... Are you serious?
People are more susceptible to have a heart attack during...
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, when they do the hour change. Whether it's...
I mean, I was just going to say, I just don't like the fact how it's, darker, quicker.
Well, yeah, that's the big part, man. Yeah. Actually... I have a stat. According to the Center for Addiction and Mental Health, as many as 35% of Canadians complain about having the winter blues, while another 10 to 15% have a mild form of seasonal depression, aka seasonal affective disorder. That's a lot of Canadians that are depressed because of the weather.
It's nuts, right?
So what do we do about this? Do you guys have any solutions?
Get those sunlights.
What?
You know those lights that give you artificial sun?
Oh. You think that'll work? I don't think that's going to...
I'm told it works.
I think you go down to Florida for 2 weeks.
No, that's not addressing the problem head on.
You know how you can address this problem, actually? You go out and live out... go and live in, Nunavut or Yukon for 2 months, and you come back and be yeah, this is heaven. Okay,
that's not a bad idea, actually. That will make you appreciate it more.
I think that is a long-term solution.
I also think we make excuses for ourselves.
You know what? I think
people are oh my god, it's snowing. I'm not going to go outside. I'm going to hide inside all day.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually you have to actively try to not be the worst.
Well, that's why people are so depressed with the long winters. Is that they just stay inside all day and do nothing. Yeah. So
it's cuffing season, right?
But missed out on that again. Damn it!
Wouldn't you guys agree though that? The darker it gets, you feel for example, right now it's dark pretty much at 6. And, I went to the gym after 6 and I was my goodness, is it too late for the gym? You know what I mean? Is this going to throw off my sleep pattern? And then I look at the time, man, it's 6 o'clock. I got time to go to the gym 3 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Full day ahead of you still.
It plays with your mind, for sure.
Yeah.
But, you can, what you did, you still went to the gym.
Yeah, of course.
And you still had time for more stuff.
Yeah.
You just got to do it.
Battle through, people.
Work out, exercise, hobbies.
Go for a run. Listen to Mic'd Up Toronto. Go for a run.
Yeah,
we have pretty structured time limits, so if you run for one whole episode, you're good.
And I'm telling people, I listen 4 back-to-back episodes.
While running?
No, at the gym.
I was going to say, that's a long run.
I did it while doing chores at home. I did it all in one day. Man, we're terrific.
And did you
These last few episodes are terrific.
Did you feel more upbeat afterwards?
I did.
Yeah?
I was a little depressed. And then I listened to us and I'm man, we're hilarious.
Okay, so maybe that's the cure to seasonal affective disorder.
Yes.
Mic'd Up Toronto.
Listening to something you enjoy.
There you go.
And it's free.
Hey, sorry, before we start, I don't think we talked about this. And it's a long way out, but I'm excited.
Let's hear it.
And Vince just reminded me that we all signed up to do a Spartan race.
Oh, I'm well aware.
So for people who don't know what that is, we're doing about 10 to 13 kilometers, and it's a run/obstacle course. And the best time I think that it's been done in is 80 minutes. So we're probably looking at 2 hours.
People did it that quickly?
2 hours, bro. We're looking at 4 hours.
I don't know why in my head I was thinking 5 hours.
5 hours? We're not running a marathon.
To me, this is a marathon.
There was someone who ran a marathon in less than 2 hours recently.
How much is a marathon?
Yeah.
52 kilometers.
Ooh.
Very impressive, yeah.
Yeah. And this guy, I think this person, I think it was a guy, ran it in under 2 hours.
Yeah.
Remember when people used to say physically. Like such and such can't get better. Like the like pitching a baseball can't get faster. No one will ever run this fast. Like we continually blow our own minds, and that's what the Spartan race is gonna do for you guys. You're gonna be like, how am I gonna do this? Look, you guys are already thinking 4 or 5 hours. You're gonna do it in like 2, maybe 2.5, and you're gonna be like, I'm a superhero.
Mitch,
Put a cape on me.
I can't believe you actually think we're going to finish it. That part is kind of funny.
Listen, I've already begun my training, all right? I'm on a diet plan, bro. I am on a diet plan. I didn't eat bread today.
Look, he's eating vegan.
Because of this?
Yes.
Because
vegan
of the race?
protein bars.
I'm 8 months out from this race, and I didn't eat bread. I'm shedding weight, man. I'm going at
Less
the
to
lightest
carry on the legs.
Exactly, yeah. I'm going in like 20 pounds later. This is like a boxing match for
Are you
me.
serious?
Yeah, man. Cut weight.
Wow.
Cut weight.
Okay, I need to take this more seriously.
But last week you said you were doing.
Yeah, I did. I've done a few workouts.
If you want to
According to the
detail them.
I'd rather not.
You did 20 push-ups.
Yeah.
Well, I did. They had a training plan on their website to get in shape like within 3 months. So I did the day 1 exercise.
There you go.
And then guess what day 2's exercise was?
Same
Day
thing.
off.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, I like this.
So you're already on day 3, a week after you started.
Yeah, I'm really good at the days that are day off.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's good.
that's my specialty.
Don't want to hurt yourself. Rest is important. God.
Well, on the bright side, I still have some time to get ready. But yeah, let's move on. So got some stats for you here from Stats Canada, so you know they're legit. Just over 1 million Canadians are working an average of 50 hours per week. And to do the math for you, that's about 10 hours per day. The number of people working in multiple jobs has almost doubled since 1978. And as of 2018, now accounts for 5.7% of the Canadian workforce. Guys, what do you make of these numbers?
First of all, I'm not really too surprised about the 50-hour work week. In terms of everyone usually at some point in their career life will work time like overtime that's unpaid. So it doesn't so much concern me that people are working 50-hour work weeks. It probably concerns me more is that people are working 50-hour work weeks and they're not getting paid for those 10 extra hours. I know it's something I experienced where, you know, my shift was really 9 to 5, but really it was like 9 to like 6:30. And I think that is concerning considering the, you know, mental well-being, the long-term mental well-being of employees.
Especially, I don't know if this is the case for all of them, but like I'm sure a lot of the people that are working the overtime, it's not that they have to, but it's because there's that pressure, the expectation. Like if all your coworkers are working overtime, then you almost feel obligated to put in those hours too, right? Mitch, how do you feel?
I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal.
You don't think those numbers are high?
No. Because, like, for a lot of jobs, your standard work week is something like 44 hours.
Yeah.
So, like, to say you work an extra 6 hours is an hour and what, 10 minutes a day.
Not only that, you see, there's two ways of looking at this because you're also, like, you're not putting in 8 hours every day of clean work. Like, you got some internet surfing, talking to employees.
Right.
You probably got 5.5, 6 hours.
That's not the point. That's just a way to, like, defend these ridiculously high numbers, I think. The fact is you're in your office for 10 hours a day, every day for 5 straight days. You can't tell me that's not a lot. That's like you are a slave to this job. Like you're just working away, slaving away, and like what are you getting in return?
I see what Lewis is saying. So like if you were to live a life, right, and you were to commit 10 hours to your workday, right? And then assume you got a good sleep of 8 hours, that gives you 6 hours every day for yourself.
Throwing commute time?
Yeah. I was like, at best, this is what you get.
Yeah. Oh, at best.
So
at the very
I
best, you only
understand
get
what
6
you're
hours.
saying, that the balance isn't there, but also at the same time, 8 plus 8 is also a bad number.
Wait, what do you mean?
Right? Like, we're talking about like 2 extra hours a day at work sometimes, because some people work 44, right? Like,
Well,
that's the
I'd
legal
say the
limit
average is
without overtime pay, right?
Okay.
So if you divide that up, then like 2 extra hours a day is that really the thing that's breaking your back between work-life balance?
potentially two extra hours a day. That's a lot.
I would say I'd be more concerned if people are working 6 days a week. I'd be more concerned if people are working like 5 hours at 2 jobs. Like 5 hours at one and 5 hours at another. That's the stuff that would be more hurtful than putting 10 hours at one job, I think.
Oh, it's funny you would say that actually, Mitch, because Microsoft did a little experiment in Japan. And Japan is actually known for the fact that like it's one of the hardest working nations. People generally put between 60 to 70 hours a week. This is not something considered like, oh, this is crazy. Like many people work about 60 hours a week unpaid.
Don't they have a massive suicide rate?
They do, but hold on, let me get to that.
Not
So
surprised.
Microsoft did a little experiment at their headquarters. They went to a 4-day week, 4-day working week. Take a guess what happened to productivity.
It went up.
Mitch?
I would imagine up.
By how much?
20%.
9%.
40%.
I love it.
This
See?
is over a 4-week span in the month of August. I don't know if it's summer had something to do with it. That could be another bonus, right? But people were so thrilled. They're saying, hey, like, we're going to try this thing. You know what I mean? The fact that productivity goes up by 40% is unreal. You know what that tells me? I think that tells me that when people go to work and be like, listen, I got 3 days off and I only now have 4 days to finish my work. I think there's less. I don't want to call it slacking time because you need that social interaction at work.
No, it's earning it.
Yeah, like people are very focusing like I need to get my work done in order to have this like stay
Right.
a 4-day week. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I found that very interesting.
Oh, for sure, man. I think that says a lot. And I don't know why when people throw out that idea, it's like, it's the most insane thing that's not realistic. Why not? Why can't we have a 3-day weekend?
Hey, well, because you get the idiots, right? You get the idiots who are like, well, if there's a 4-day work week, then who's going to be there? Who's going to be doing the work for when everyone's off? It's like, because it's fucking rotating shifts, you idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
Like,
of course,
everyone's got different 4 days. Not everybody, but like lots of people have different 4 days.
Right.
Some people will work Tuesday to Friday. Some people work Thursday to Monday. Some people work Monday to Thursday.
of course.
Everything's covered off. So like it does make perfect sense to me, and I think it makes it a reasonable thing for like to incentivize. You're actually like people are spending the exact same amount of hours in the office, and like Vince said, like it shows productivity because you get something out of it, and it's not even monetary. Like you're putting in the exact same time, you're getting the exact same pay, and it feels like you're getting another day off.
Yeah.
It's all about time management, man. People are not efficient with their time. So yeah, these studies show that if you are more efficient, you get the work done in a short amount of time. Why not? And like we've all said it so many times, but we live in this work obsessed society. It's all about work, work, work. People have no lives, and that needs to change.
I was just gonna point out the founder of Alibaba. He's a billionaire, and he's saying like the way to success is to work like 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. He's saying that's normal.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'm sure a lot of people have gone successful working those 12-hour days.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of people like that.
No, I think for him, maybe it worked, and yeah, he became billionaire, but I'm like, not everyone's going to become a billionaire. If you know...
I can tell you, we can go into certain areas of Toronto and people work in 12-hour days and they're not close to being billionaires.
No, exactly. So
Exactly.
It's not the quantity of hours you're putting in, right? It's the quality of work that's being put out, right?
Yeah.
Like, someone can put in 12 hours a day at McDonald's. You ain't going to get rich.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, you know?
Plus, like whoever is a business owner, it's their incentive to work 12-hour weeks. You can work I think the point of the study and the point of the argument is not like sole proprietors, like work 4 days a week or like work less. Like, man, you work as much as you want because usually your work is what dictates your pay. But this is more in the sense of like the corporate world, those 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, if you're an entrepreneur, like you have your own business and you want to work that extra time because it equals more money, then so be it. But even in that case, I say like don't put so much emphasis on
I agree.
on
money.
money, man.
Yeah.
It's funny how we look at, I guess, like the successful dream. Well, at least in some people's eyes, the successful person is someone who, works downtown in Toronto in the financial district, getting like a pretty well paying job, but they're like working these 10, 12-hour days. They're probably have no social life. They probably live in a shoebox apartment downtown, stuck in debt. It's like, that's the dream right there.
That's the dream. That's what everyone wants.
Well, we try to do our part to change it. We'll see if the four-day work week ever happens.
I think there's a small shift. Like, I think some people are realizing, and like some corporations are realizing too, the value of like happy employees, right? Because I did see like a small shift away from the employee. It's like you're replaceable. It's always been, not always been, but it's for a lot of time it's been you're replaceable. Someone else will do the work, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, fuck, man. Now they're realizing how expensive it is to fire you, hire someone else, train them, bring them in, and then if they're still not treating people right, that person leaves and they do it all again. It's a revolving door, right? Where it's just easier to make people happy where they are, and then you get more out of them.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure there's plenty of studies where, like, when you have a boss micromanaging every little thing, that doesn't help productivity, doesn't help morale, doesn't help anything.
Just one last thing to point out in regards to this. I think it's important that we give a shout out to all the millennials, generation Z even. Like, we always talk about how they feel entitled, and usually it's a bad thing, but in this case it's a good thing because they're the new generation that they're not taking this shit. You know what I mean?
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like, studies actually show that if you look at 20 years ago even, like, people were very likely to stay within a job or a company.
Oh,
forever.
Right.
Yeah. Now you have these, like this, our generation.
That's millennials too.
Yeah, I would say millennials are really driving it where they're saying like, I'm unhappy. This doesn't mean that much to me.
I think they said the average length of a tenure in a position is like 3 to 5 years for millennial.
Exactly.
So,
and a point and a reason for this is obviously like they're not having families, so they don't have those financial obligations. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of factors, but at the end of the day, there, I think, can be a big reason why big corporations need to change the way they view employees. Because like Mitch said, like, you're not going to have somebody like bite the bullet and just suck it up and shut up for 15 years, 20 years, and retire. That's
They'll
not
just
happening.
go somewhere else.
those days are long gone.
Do you
Those
think
are
like
gone.
Google and Amazon changed the world like in a good way for us with that mindset? Because like, remember hearing like the first Google offices opening up, and you're like, they had relaxing rooms and reading rooms and open air like meetings where like people could walk by and still hear the conversations,
Right.
Where it wasn't like everything behind closed doors and like everyone knows down. Like, obviously there's a certain level of productivity that's expected, but it's like, fuck, this is a community.
Right.
Like, they're building some sort of
That's a good
something
thing,
you're
right?
proud of.
Sorry.
I think for innovation companies, like, you need to have that kind of environment. Unfortunately, for like most jobs though, if you had, imagine like where you work, if they had this open concept and where like you can hear in on people, you can like mingle as much as you want.
They're doing it.
Oh, are
They're
they
doing it? Like,
they're starting to?
They're like putting everybody in communities. They call them hubs, and even downtown, they're putting them in what they call ecosystems, where no one has assigned desks. You come in every day, or you don't come in every day, and they have a specific area. Like, if you're going to be on phone calls, they have like the area to be on phone calls. Book meeting rooms, and it's like, it's just open concept.
Oh wow!
It's like a hotel system.
There was
Good
like
for them.
there was one location that had a bar inside of it. So that
Yeah, I've heard of that
you
being
could
more
like
common
bring
now.
in clients, sit down, have food, have a drink, entertain a client. It's changing. It's slowly changing. Like obviously you don't want to get too crazy, but it's nice to see.
Sorry, the one thing that pisses me off though is that the people that choose not to work the 50-hour work weeks, you're kind of criticized. People question your work ethic, and they question just your willingness to really want this, which sucks because no, it just means I'm not willing to sacrifice that much of my time. It doesn't mean I'm not dedicated or committed
100%.
or ambitious.
100%.
That part annoys me.
Dude, I put in like 50-hour weeks for like 2 years. What happened? I didn't even get a fucking pat on the back, man. And for all of you listeners are expecting a pat on the back, don't bother.
Yeah, you only do overtime if you want the money.
Exactly. Or if they're gonna pay you the money, man.
Yeah.
This segment kind of turned into a
rant.
immigrant Vince rant.
Yeah.
But all three of us ranting.
No, but I think there are some positive changes that can come.
For sure.
For sure. Like, let's be honest. 1 million people doing that much work, I would imagine a high percentage of that percentage is low income double job. And out of the other percentage, I think there's people who are doing 12-hour days, skewing the numbers. I don't think it's a massive amount anymore because people value their time too much.
As far as the double jobs is concerned, though, I've wondered, does Uber drivers, does that count as a double job?
Yeah.
So then, you know how we talk about the unemployment rate being so low? Mm-hmm. What if someone just does Uber?
No.
They're employed.
They're employed.
Yeah.
No.
So that's how I feel the stats could be misleading, and like you see these record low unemployment levels.
Count as employment. They literally bi-weekly deposit money.
Okay. So let me explain this. Okay. When you're unemployed, you got two options, right? Unemployment benefits / welfare, like to pay your bills.
Yeah.
Or you sign up for some kind of employment. If that employment, like Uber driver, you're saying it's skewing the employment numbers. If he's not making as much or more than what he's getting in benefits, you know what I mean? Then why would he do it? So, like, don't think like, oh, like there's Uber drivers driving 20 hours a week. He's considered employed. No. He's making more than what the government would pay him to stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, unemployment's low.
Oh, I know it's low, but I'm just wondering how much this, like, Uber and all these jobs kind of factor into it.
Enough
how
for
they
them not
affect
to
it.
be on benefits.
Okay. Let's move on, shall we?
I'll be thankful for those people.
Me too, man. They could
Right?
stay at home, but
and
they're
they
out
could be
there.
at home,
Yeah.
like getting paid cash and taking money from the system.
Yeah.
Actually, Vince, why don't you take over with the next story? That interesting incident that happened over the weekend.
Yeah, yo, shout out to Six Buzz, man. So I actually saw this on their Instagram account. They're showing some people blocked off. I wasn't sure what highway at. Like on the video, it doesn't say what highway. It just says like it's showing a sign to like Pearson Airport, and literally the highway is blocked off, like for people to do car stunts. What we would find out a day and a half later is that I believe this was Highway 409.
I don't know where that is.
So they blocked it off in the middle of the night just so people can do car stunts. And
when Vince says they blocked it off, he means like a group of cars blocked every lane.
car meet. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You
not
block-
like an organized meet.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure
like
when he
by
first
like the
described
city
it.
or anything.
No.
It's
I apologize.
specific.
Yeah. See, this is why you're the moderator.
So this is like illegal street racing, kind of like.
I wouldn't call. They weren't showing actual races, but they were just showing a car doing donuts.
But like, have you seen that scene? Like one of the first scenes from like the original Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Where like they'll block off every intersection. There'll be a bunch of cars blocking every intersection off. So even if cars wanted to get in, they can't get in.
Yeah.
That is what happened on the 409.
Yeah.
That's insane that something like that happened in Toronto. Well, I mean, close enough. Where was it?
Highway 409.
Yeah, I know, but like where?
Within. I'm not sure if they mentioned how close to Pearson, but you can see
Okay,
the
close
sign.
enough. Yeah.
If you're seeing the sign, It's probably within like 5 to 10 kilometers, I assume.
That's nuts. And was there
No charges.
no charges, no anything?
How are they gonna find anyone, man?
Well, I mean, there's video of it.
Yeah, but there's video. It doesn't like
You got
can't
license
see-
plates?
There's no license plates on the video. There's nothing.
What?
Nothing like nothing off Six Buzz video that would like pinpoint to like who might be, you know what I mean, responsible for this. You can see a lot of bystanders, but what I did find it shocking is, like, let's say like it's 2 o'clock in the morning, right, or like 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. It appeared to be a late time, and like I'm driving on this highway, and all of a sudden, like, complete stop. Now all 4 lanes stopped.
Yeah.
I would find that strange. I'm getting out of my fucking car to see what's happening. And if I see this shit happening, like, I'm going to the first round of cars to be like, yo, jump in your cars and leave, or I'm taking a picture of your license plate.
Oh, tough guy, Vince. I'm gonna have to call you out on your BS again.
No,
You're not doing that.
dude, there's a difference. I've seen, like, a car meetup. It was somewhere in North Mississauga. It was actually for, like, BMW fans. Usually done in a plaza, parking lot. People show off their
like
cars.
the one that happens at like Canadian Tire in the summer every Saturday.
Yeah. But, like, this is different, man. You're blocking a highway. This ain't the Queensway. This ain't Queen Street. Like,
No.
you're blocking off a highway.
I get that. And that's why for something like this, you let the cops deal with it, because you're telling me that you're going to get out of your car and you're going to talk to these people that probably, I'm guessing they're a little bit on the shady side.
I don't
Well,
think
yeah.
so.
For them to do something like this, they got balls. They're not going to take shit from anyone. So I don't know how they're going to react when immigrant Vince shows up and says, "Hey guys, get out of the way. Move your cars." I'm just trying to help you
honestly
out here, man.
surprised-
I don't recommend doing that.
I'm surprised that no one else did it. We'll see. If they get caught, then somebody else did what I was saying I would do.
Because people are probably scared. You don't want to mess with people that are doing donuts on the highway, that close the highway off to do this kind of thing.
When you start becoming scared to report a crime in Canada, you've hit Bulgarian levels. All our listeners, if you ever hit that point where you're scared, that means it's time we go somewhere else. So that day should never come. Facts.
Okay.
Hashtag. Stay strong.
Let's quickly talk about a topic that we have discussed before, but now it's finally in place. The cell phone ban for Ontario students is now in effect. So students will no longer be permitted to use their cell phones during class unless it's for educational purposes, health purposes, or for special needs. Obviously, the intention here is to, limit distractions.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think this will work?
It's not going to work.
I think it'll work.
Who's going to enforce it? Teachers?
Well, I mean, that's the question. Will teachers actually enforce it?
What's the punishment?
I don't know.
Is it like one of those fine print rules where, like when you enroll your kid in school, it's like they have agreed to not have their phone on them for personal use, and if they are caught using it, it will be confiscated.
Possibly, but to be fair, these days that's a pretty strict punishment. Like, can you imagine a 14-year-old kid having their phone taken away from them? Like that's torture for them,
right? And all it takes is one parent to complain, because it'd be like they'll just say you can't take their shit.
But if it's just for a few hours, like, could happen.
It could happen.
I like what this is trying to accomplish here, because this goes for students, this goes for anyone. And I'm really paying attention to this as of late, especially with drivers. People are just so obsessed with their phone, just staring down, looking down at their phones in the cars, on the street while they're walking, and I'm sure it's happening in the classrooms. And just society as a whole, we need to just stop obsessing over our phones. Yes, there's a lot of information on there. There's good distractions, and there's a lot of useful things to do. But like, my goodness,
people are just
enough.
scrolling through their feed.
How many people are just on it just because they're so, like, it's just automatic for them
to be on it?
Like, how many times, if you just stop and think, what am I really doing right now? Is this necessary? And you're like, no, you're just wasting hours hours doing nothing on that phone.
People tend to do exactly what we were told by a motivational speaker some time ago. You open one app, close it, open up another app, go back to the first app, open a third app, go back to the second. Yeah. You're really just rotating through 4 or 5 apps. And I do this all the
and then you're like, oh wait, I've already went through this one.
All of them. I went through all of them.
I don't do
times.
that, but
everybody does it.
Yeah, real bad.
Not to mention on the washroom. I think, I forget, they've done stats on this too. But like everyone on the can is on their phone.
Oh yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess if you're going to be on it, that would be a time to do it. But like, just, oh man.
Is that the time to do it?
Society needs to wake up.
Put something you put on the side of your face while you're on the toilet?
Okay, not that part of it, but just in the multitasking side of things.
Just saying.
You know what? I agree with Mitch. This is not enforceable. I agree with. Actually, I think it's not a great idea, but it's a good idea.
The overall message is good,
yes,
right?
The message, without a doubt, is fantastic, but this is not enforceable. And again, shout out to Six Buzz, who posted a video on the first day of cell phone ban, and there's literally like the room's dark. They're watching some kind of documentary,
and you just see all the screens.
Yeah, and there's like, it must be a class of like 20 people. There's like 10 screens. You can see them blatantly from like who's ever filming. He's filming from like one corner of the classroom.
Yeah, on his phone, right?
And everybody's on their screen. Oh, everybody, man. Like, let me ask you this, and we won't go into this because stay tuned for the free-for-all, you'll see why. But I won't get into it. Teachers? Do you think they're going to enforce that shit? Do you think a teacher is going to go out of the way and be like, all right, like, okay, maybe once be like, yeah, put your cell phone away. But if everyone's doing it, do you think they're going to actually go through that effort?
Yeah, but do you think a teacher likes the idea of going on, like giving their lesson and knowing that the kids aren't paying attention?
See, you guys are both looking at it wrong, right? You're both looking at it like the teacher feels slighted because no one's paying attention. And then it's like, how do you enforce it? The right way to do this is to make more education through the phone.
Yeah, but then we're just promoting that dependence on the cell phones, on technology.
Well,
and
you're saying cell phones are going to go somewhere and technology and screens are going to go somewhere? No, they're not going to go anywhere.
I know,
man.
but just too much emphasis.
But if someone is told, like, hey, do your readings, or watch this video, and then they're watching it on their screen, then you don't have to worry about them doing something else because you've obtained their directions.
Because you tell the students to watch said video on their phones, you think that's what they're going to be watching on their phones?
Maybe not.
No chance.
But like, that's their opportunity, right? That's there's like, you can try and take it away, but it's part of everybody's life. Why would you take it away from kids when adults use it every single day? We have, like, almost every workplace will give you a phone because you need it for work. And we're saying, grow up without it.
No. So it's not a full ban. They will allow for educational purposes, but like, educational purposes aren't going to be all day long.
You're in school. It's all day long.
No, I know, but you shouldn't need the cell phone for educational purposes all day. You know what I would do, man? Maybe an hour a day. Who knows? I don't know what they're teaching. We're fighting for the wrong reason. Forget about it. I just came up with the perfect solution. Okay. We should do what I did in like economics class in university. Participation mark. Except instead of making it like 2 or 5%, like 2% for the year, make participation like 20%. 25 for the entire year. And what you do is like a class is like, I don't know, like 45 minutes long or whatever, 50. All right. Quick quiz, man. Quick quiz. Vince, every other class, I'm telling you. Kids are going to hate you, man.
Well, the problem with that is I think there's too many kids in a classroom for a teacher to focus on participation of every single child.
Oh, we did in Toronto. In my classes in university, we had 10% participation. And like it was, even bigger classes, 40 people.
Yeah, 40 class people in university.
Yeah, but wasn't your class longer? Like 2 hours or some shit?
Yeah.
I don't know. How long are your high school classes? I don't know, 30 minutes? 40 minutes? An hour? I don't know.
Like, 40. I'm not saying like...
I can't even know.
Not one of those like pop quizzes on paper, man, where like the teacher has to grade this. Let's use technology, bro. Let them have a clicker or like even use their own phones to like sign in. You know, there's this app where like
There's
you can,
tons of education apps now,
where
man.
you can sign in and literally like the questions are preloaded and use your cell phone to answer.
But
Come
there's,
on, man.
There's crazy stuff where like there's digital chalkboards now. Like who uses chalk anymore? But there's like digital like boards, and you should be able to like send that out to all your students and engage them that way. You should be able to. Obviously, it happens in private schools and things like that, because I can't see any school board being able to afford it for every school, but we have to do something about it. It's like, they're just finding ways to do what they can with what they have because they can't keep up.
Yeah. But you agree though that you don't want to rely too much on technology and cell phones.
I agree on the fact
No?
that
What gives you the idea that I would agree to that?
Okay,
Hold
maybe
on.
I didn't phrase that
Phrase it
correctly, but
differently.
students at a young age, do you really want them, even if it's supposedly for educational purposes, do you want their full 8 or 6 hour school day to be dependent on that cell
oh,
phone?
buddy, that's the future. You got no choice, man.
What if I said, okay, we'll ban all cell phones, right? But I can also pick up a laptop for I think it's like $200 now, like a Chromebook or Google Chromebook, yeah. And then they can bring that. That's fine, right?
Not for when there's an exercise that
This
requires
is where your
it.
gap is, because should everyone have to be writing notes still?
No, but I think
But if I want to have a laptop, like everyone does in university, right? Shouldn't every kid have access to an electronic way of keeping notes now? Because writing down notes is foreign.
starting in high school though.
But it's actually a
Not
good
for
skill to
elementary.
have. Note taking.
Why?
Okay,
When's the last time you used note taking?
Well, I mean, then you're gonna have kids who
Yesterday.
will never have to write anything with a pen ever.
Right.
It's kind of an important skill to have.
Tell me how it's important.
I don't know if it's
when
important
you're writing a
anymore.
letter. What's more important? Being able to type well, or being able to write?
I guess I gotta accept that times are changing, but
But if
it's
we're
still
going to allow people to have laptops, you can do everything on a laptop and 17 million times more in a classroom. So we should be able to embrace this in a certain way.
Lou, rephrase it. You should just ask him if he agrees that, or is he willing to agree to anything that will help the educational experience? And if that be taking phones away during class, he'll say yes.
But that's very arbitrary. We don't know what will enhance it and
Well,
what
I'm just
won't.
telling you how he'll agree with you. I'm not saying.
Well, okay, my point is I'm going to use my favorite word, moderation. Everything in moderation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about everything.
I'm not
but
going to lie. I heard
some things.
you say everything in moderation, and then Vince said he might have said important, but I heard in porn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I said important.
Well, I mean, that kind of applies to
Everything in moderation in porn.
Rewind, everyone. I said important. At least I hope.
All right, well, I guess that's a good
listen to
spot to wrap this episode up on. As per usual, we do want to know what our listeners think. Hit us up at miceduptoronto@gmail.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MIC''D, up Toronto. MIC''D, UP, Toronto. I figured I'd just spell the whole thing.
I thought you were going to go again and then just spell the whole thing.
I thought about it. Okay, that'll do it. We'll see you next time.